John Wallace again with the dynamics of kingdom living. You know, my eyesight is not quite as good as it used to be. Now, probably got to lump that in with hair getting grayer and a few more wrinkles than I used to have. But a couple of months ago, I went in to get my annual eye check, and as they was checking me for my eyesight, my optometrist said to me, "John, you don't realize this, but you are spending a lot of unconscious energy keeping your eyes open because the edges of your eyelids over the years have sagged down and they're blocking your peripheral vision." Well, of course, after he mentioned that to me, it wasn't unconscious anymore. It became a very, very conscious thing that I was turning my head a lot from side to side in order to be able to see. So he recommended, and I went through with it. About 3 weeks ago, I had a surgeon cut off the excess of the skin that was blocking my eyesight. As I was recovering for the first few days, it was not told to me, but as I was recovering, my eyesight was blurred. The right eye cleared up pretty quickly, but then the left eye, it took several days to get clear. As I was sitting contemplating all of this, the Lord began to speak and give me a spiritual lesson that I think might be helpful for you. He said, "John, over the years, there are things in your life which sag into place. They're just familiar and they sag into place and they literally block your spiritual eyesight." Now, I did a little bit of reading on peripheral vision, and the main thing that peripheral vision does is it shows us motion off to the side. And God told me, he said, you're missing a lot of the movement of my spirit because of these things that have sagged into your life. And so I just did just an intensive spiritual inventory and did indeed find some things that needed to be, quote, cut out. The Lord said, you know, when you realize what these things are, just like with your natural problem, you have to cut it off. You have to cut it out. Of course, now I can see out here on the side, I can see this movement. And so prayerfully, now I'm able to see more of what God is doing, even off to the edges, the movement of God. He also showed me that thing about the blurred vision is that as He is refocusing me on spiritual things, sometimes it's a little bit of a process until my spiritual eyesight comes into focus. You know, Jesus said, "I only do what I see the Father doing." And Paul said in 2 Corinthians 4 at the very end in verse 18, he said, "We," meaning those of us who follow Jesus, we don't look at the things that are seen, but we look at the things that are unseen. Because the things that are seen are temporal, they're passing away. But the things that are unseen are eternal. So that's how important spiritual eyesight is. So you may want to do that same kind of spiritual inventory. I hope that you don't have to get your eyelids cut on to find that out. But just do an inventory before God and say, "Lord, is there anything that's kind of sagged into my life over the last years that's really blocking my vision from seeing everything that you desire for me to see?" It's part of His kingdom. Thanks.